1953 and the Mille Miglia, a continuous town-to-town race and directly descendant of the great city-to-city races, which were the birth of motor racing at the turn of the century. First held in 1927, it was the inspiration of four impassioned Italian enthusiasts: Count Emo Maggi, Franco Mazzotti, Giovanni Canestrini, and Renzo Castagneto. The Aston Martin team stayed at Casa Maggi, the home of Emo Maggi, where life was pleasant and almost feudal in style. Following the team's reconnaissance of the event in 1952, 3 DB3s were entered for Reg Parnell, George Abecassis and Peter Collins, a good blend of youth and experience. The 1953 Mille Miglia had all the ingredients of a great race. Ferrari was to be deprived of his best cars with the early retirement of Luigi Villoresi and Farina. Aston Martin started off well, all 3 cars passing through the refueling stop at Ravenna. Collins' 12th at Pescara had taken 4 places by the time he reached Rome. Meanwhile, Kling had led for Alfa Romeo at Rome, only to crash on a mountain pass between Rome and Siena. This let Fangio into the lead from Giannino Mazzotto's Ferrari. But unfortunately, while crossing the Apennines, the steering of Fangio's car began to fail. A damaged track rod meant that he only had steering on one front wheel. Mazzotto went into the lead, which he was to hold to the end of the race. That Fangio was able to finish second was remarkable, only 12 minutes behind after 1,000 miles. Benetton's Lancia B20 was third, a good result for a tough and very brave driver. Parnell's drive to 5th was one of his greatest. The rear suspension was broken, then the throttle cable broke, leaving Parnell no alternative but to drive the vehicle on the ignition switch. It was a great performance by the big-hearted Derby farmer. Jaguar had won the race in 1951, and they should have won in 1952. As a result of the prestige gained, Jaguar were now able to announce that its cars had become the biggest dollar earners among all of the imported cars in the USA. Le Mans in 1953 had never seen a more formidable entry, and the eagerness of the main motor manufacturers of the various nations was plain to see. Any doubts that Jaguar hadn't learned the lesson of 1952 was soon dispelled. From the start, Ascari and Villoresi in the Ferrari led from Moss and Tony Rolt. Moss took the lead and led from Rolt. After 20 laps, Moss had to pit with a misfiring engine. As soon as the fuel filter was changed, Moss rejoined, but he'd lost 10 minutes. Rolt speeded up and kept the lead for Jaguar. By half distance, only the Ascari Villoresi Ferrari and the Fitch Walters Cunningham needed to be watched by the Jaguar timekeepers.
The car never missed a beat, and in practice I'd broken the lap record time after time with it, I was very happy with the car. It felt right, it did everything right. It stopped, it steered, and we thought we were very happy. It turned out we were right. And, during the night, like the south, the heavy mist like a fog descends. I was leading the rest by then. We concentrated on the dark and the bad weather. When people relax in the dark, and say, well, when the dawn will soon be here, we realize that's the time to really press on and we drive faster. In fact, I put the lap record in the dark.
In the dawn mist, the weekend's saddest event took place as the highly talented American driver Tom Cole lost his life when his Ferrari crashed at White House. Just before noon, Ascari's Ferrari finally retired. The Rolt-Hamilton Jaguar, superbly driven, had destroyed the opposition and restored Jaguar's reputation. The Moss-Walker Jaguar fought its way back through the field and its early troubles to take a tremendous second. Ahead of the Fitch Walters Cunningham, which finished third, and the Peter Whitehead Ian Stewart Jaguar, the last remaining member of the team, in fourth place. In Grand Prix racing, Ferrari again set the standard, taking a philosophical approach, carrying out only minor modifications to the Tipo 500, which now developed 190 brake horsepower from the successful four-cylinder engine. The Maserati team was rejuvenated. Colombo had joined the concern and produced a much revised version of the A6 GCM, the A6 SSG. The engine had been redesigned and now developed 190 to 195 horsepower. Fangio, fit again, joined Gonzalez in the team. Ascari started 1953 in the same form that he'd been in 1952, winning the Argentinian Grand Prix from Villoresi, Gonzalez with Hawthorn in fourth place in his first drive in a Grand Prix Ferrari. Ascari won again in Holland from Farina with Gonzalez third and Hawthorn again fourth. In the Belgian Grand Prix, Fangio and Gonzalez had both led but retired, leaving Ascari to win once more. Ascari's record during this two-year period is amazing. He won 11 Grand Prix from 14 starts, dominating race after race, a worthy champion in every sense. The next round of the championship was the French Grand Prix, and it was destined to be a classic. Prior to the Grand Prix, Moss and Peter Whitehead won the 12-hour sports car race with a C-Type Jaguar. Gonzalez decided to start the Grand Prix with a half-full load of fuel. As a result, he rocketed off the line and built up a 20-second lead before having to make his pit stop. Fangio, aware of this, had really driven on the limit and took the lead. Gonzalez's pit stop was to drop him back to sixth. Hawthorn, driving probably what was his greatest race, was now up to second and swapping the lead with Fangio on nearly every lap. On lap 58, Hawthorn and Fangio crossed the line side by side. On lap 59, Hawthorn had a slight advantage over Fangio, with Gonzalez and Ascari right behind them. The last lap was tremendous as the four cars approached the Tiroir for the last time. Hawthorn out-accelerated Fangio by using a dodgy first gear to the line, winning by a second from Fangio with Gonzalez 0.4 of a second behind.